Bohr's model of atom. Niels Bohr's proposed model of atom to overcome the confusions and to make things clear which could not be done by other scientists or chemists like Rutherford, J.J. Thomson, Rutherford concluded in his model of atom that electron revolves around the nucleus in accelerated motion, and when electrons get accelerated they radiate energy. Due to radiation of energy from the electron loses their energy and slowly and gradually they slows down and their orbit size decreases. In this way, finally the electron will hit into the nucleus. So an atom could not be stable in that way, isn't it? Up to here we had discussed as the drawback of Rutherford's model of atom. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
इससे पहले हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था रदरफोर्ड्स मॉडल ऑफ एटम में उनके ड्रॉबैक यानी उनके मॉडल ऑफ एटम की त्रुटि या कमजोरी कह लो, उसके रूप में हम लोगों ने ये जाना था, क्योंकि उन्होंने कहा था कि इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है वो एक सर्टेन ऑर्बिट्स में रिवॉल्व तो करती है लेकिन ऑर्बिट फिक्स नहीं है। क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉन जब न्यूक्लियस के चारों तरफ रिवॉल्व करती है, घूमती है, तो वो एनर्जी रेडिएट करती है। और चूंकि एनर्जी जब रेडिएट होता है वहाँ, तो धीरे धीरे इलेक्ट्रॉन की एनर्जी कम होती जाती है, जिससे कि इलेक्ट्रॉन, मान लो ये न्यूक्लियस है जिसके अंदर प्रोटॉन है और न्यूट्रॉन है, और इसके चारों तरफ अगर एक इलेक्ट्रॉन, अगर यह एक इलेक्ट्रॉन है, अगर चारों तरफ इस तरह से घूमना शुरू करेगा तो धीरे 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 इसके ऑर्बिट की साइज ऐसे छोटे होते 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 लास्ट में आके क्या होगा, तो कहाँ हिट कर जाएगा?
न्यूक्लियस।
कहाँ हिट कर जाएगा वो? न्यूक्लियस को हिट कर जाएगा। एंड व्हेन इट विल हिट इनटू द न्यूक्लियस, तो न्यूक्लियस के अंदर क्या होता है? प्रोटॉन्स आर पॉजिटिवली चार्ज, न्यूट्रॉन्स आर नो चार्ज। So when electrons which are negatively charged they hit the nucleus, so what will happen? The nucleus will destroy or not, because both the positive and negative charge will come together and it will just burst up. It may just explode and finally the nucleus get destroyed. So in this way the state of atom will not be stable. कोई भी एटम स्टेबल इस तरह से नहीं रह सकता है। क्या पता किस समय वो इस तरह से इलेक्ट्रॉन उसका जाके न्यूक्लियस में हिट कर जाए, लेकिन ऐसा होता नहीं है, क्योंकि अगर ऐसा होता तो नेचर में कोई भी चीज अपने फॉर्म में स्टेबल रहता नहीं रहता। तो इस ड्रॉबैक को क्लियर करने के लिए नील बोर्स, जो कि he was born in 1885, died in 1962 in Copenhagen, he proposed his model of atom, in which he said that electrons do revolve around the nucleus but in fixed orbits. The size of the orbit doesn't decrease. जैसे इसमें देखें कि यहाँ से शुरू हुआ और घटते आया, घटते 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 लास्ट में जाके कहाँ निकल गया? न्यूक्लियस में। So in this way electron will not hit the nucleus, electron will revolve but in fixed orbit. पहली बात उन्होंने। So according to him, if this is the nucleus, what? Suppose this is the nucleus, then electron will revolve around the nucleus. but the orbit is, suppose this is electron which has minus charge, it will revolve around the nucleus, but the path is fixed. First point. There may be more than one fixed orbit around the nucleus. उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि न्यूक्लियस के इर्द गिर्द एक से ज्यादा ऑर्बिट्स हो सकते हैं. These orbits are known as shell energy level. What? These orbits are known as shell or energy level. ओके, तो पहली बात तो उन्होंने ऑर्बिट को फिक्स कर दिया. दूसरी बात उन्होंने क्या कहा, द सेकेंड पॉइंट ऑन विच ही फोकस्ड, इट वाज रिगार्डिंग द लॉस ऑफ एनर्जी ड्यू टू रेडिएशन, ड्यू टू एक्सेलरेटेड मोशन. उन्होंने कहा कि इसमें मूव तो करेगा लेकिन एनर्जी रेडिएट नहीं करेगा, एनर्जी लूज नहीं करेगा. देयर विल बी नो रेडिएशन ऑफ एनर्जी फ्रॉम द इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड फर्दर देयर विल बी नो लॉस ऑफ एनर्जी बाय द इलेक्ट्रॉन. इट विल कीप ऑन रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड द न्यूक्लियस इन फिक्स्ड ऑर्बिट. ओके, he named this orbit as 1, 2, 3 or K L M. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, he also gave a rule for accommodation of electrons in these orbits. That rule is known as Bohr's-Bury theory. What? Bohr's-Bury theory. That how electrons are found accommodated in different cell. Each cell will not have the same number of electrons. Each energy level will not have the same number of electrons. For that he gave a rule, and for that he gave the rule. That rule was 2n square. What?
2n square.
Yes, 2n square, where n is number of orbit, where this n represents number of orbit. It means for this first cell n will be equal to
1.
1, or for k cell n will be equal to 1. For second cell or L cell the number of n will be equal to 2. For third cell or M cell the number of n will be equal to 3. Now according to this formula, for first cell how many electrons can be accommodated in first cell? The maximum number of electrons which can be accommodated in first cell is given by 2n square. So if you are going to find out the number of electrons in first cell, then 2 into n is equal to 1
1.
square.
1.
That will be equal to 2 into 1 is equal to 2. So how many maximum number of electrons can be filled or can be accommodated in first cell?
2.
Yes. In first cell the maximum number of electron which can be accommodated, that is 2. Okay. for second cell or L cell, for L cell n is equal to 2. The formula 2n square, 2 into n, that is n is equal to 2 square is equal to 2 into 4 is equal to how many electrons can be accommodated in L cell?
8.
8. It means the first cell will be stable or satisfied after getting 2 electrons. Second cell will be stable or satisfied after getting 8 electrons. Third cell, with the same formula, third cell will have what? The number will be 2n square. It will give how much?
18.
18. For third cell 2n square, the total number of electron will be 18. Now, so while you are doing electronic configuration, what? While you are doing electronic configuration, what you need to do? First of all, okay, let us know what is electronic configuration. What is electronic configuration? The arrangement of electrons in an atom is called electronic configuration. The arrangement of electrons in different cell or orbits of an atom is called what is electronic configuration?
Sir, your video is clear. Video is not.
Yes, sir, your voice is also not coming.
What is electronic configuration? The arrangement of electrons in different orbits or cells in an atom is called its electronic configuration. Clear? The arrangement of
Yes, sir.
electrons in different cells or orbits of an atom is called electronic configuration. Okay? एक एटम में इलेक्ट्रॉन्स किस तरह से ऑर्बिट में रहते हैं, उनका वह अरेंजमेंट यानी सजावट जो है वही क्या कहलाता है? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक विन्यास कहलाता है। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक विन्यास कहलाता है। ठीक है, मतलब साफ सुथरे सीधे शब्द में अगर समझे तो मतलब यह हुआ कि इलेक्ट्रॉन किस तरह से एटम के अंदर अरेंज्ड हैं, वही इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिग्रेशन है। ठीक है, अब इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिग्रेशन जब हम करते हैं तो एक चीज ध्यान आपको क्या देना है, you have to do only up to from 1 to 18. What? From 1 to 18 का ही आपको करना है। 1 to 18 ही दिया होगा आपके बुक में, इसलिए क्योंकि इससे आगे जब आप जाएंगे तो वहाँ थोड़ा सा चेंज आता है वहाँ कॉन्फ़िगरेशन का। आप जनरल में बोर्ड ड्यूरी प्रिंसिपल में जैसे कि तीसरे सेल में हमने क्या दिखाया कि तीसरे सेल में मैक्सिमम 18 इलेक्ट्रॉन रख सकते हैं, लेकिन जब इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करते हैं तो हम 18 नहीं दिखाते हैं। अब वहाँ कैसे दिखाते हैं? फर्स्ट सेल में मैक्सिमम 2, फिर 8, फिर 8, ठीक है, फिर 8, इस तरह से हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स। ऐसा नहीं कि 2 दूसरे में 8 और तीसरे में सीधा 18 तक हम डाल सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं होता है। इसलिए नहीं होता है क्योंकि आप बाद में जाके आगे हायर क्लासेस में एस पी डी एफ यानी सेल के अंदर भी छोटे छोटे सब सेल होते हैं, उसमें जब कन्फिग्रेशन पढ़ेंगे जिसको एस पी डी एफ कन्फिग्रेशन के रूप में आपको वहाँ पढ़ाया जाएगा, तो वहाँ आप देखेंगे कि कुछ सेल जो है ना वो खाली रहते हैं, यानी पहले वाला सेल खाली रह जाता है, उसके बाद में
Sir, your voice is not coming clearly. Sir, your voice is not coming clearly, and sir, video is also blur. Yes, sir.
Once again I am repeating. See, if you are not getting the sound, I can't help it because on my side the network is very clear. What I said कि while you are doing electronic configuration in first cell you have to accommodate maximum 2 electron, in second cell you have to accommodate maximum 8 electrons, in third cell again you have to maximum 8 and 8. In this way you have to proceed. Why you have to proceed like this? Why you have to proceed like this? Because later in earlier classes you will get to know about SPDF configuration. Now is it coming clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And there you will be taught that these cells also contain smaller subcells. They have small subcells, and electrons are filled in such a way that in some cases electron first filled in later subcell, and then if the number of electrons remains to be filled, then it is filled in previous subcell. That is why so you will get such type of configuration. Here you have to put electrons 2 8 8 8. Okay, now so for hydrogen, what? Hydrogen atomic structure. First draw the atomic structure. If you are asked to draw the atomic structure, you will first draw the nucleus. Okay? Atomic number of hydrogen is 1. It means the number of electron is 1 in hydrogen. So in first orbit there will be one dot. This one dot represents number of electrons. This is atomic structure of hydrogen. What?
Atomic structure of hydrogen.
Now helium. So what will be the atomic model or atomic structure of helium? Draw the nucleus. Draw the first orbit. How many electrons are found in helium?
2.
2. So what is the maximum capacity of first cell?
2.
This is atomic structure of helium. Now draw the atomic structure of neon. Do you know how many electrons are there in neon? First of all, you should know that. To know that number of electron, you need to remember atomic number. What?
Atomic number.
Yes, atomic number is the number of proton present in an atom. And you have been already taught that the number of proton and number of electrons are always equal in an atom, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So if you have remembered atomic number, it means the number of electron will be also equal to atomic number. That is number of proton.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, neon. What is the atomic number of neon? So you have to remember hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. It is 10th. In this way you have to remember it in a series. So 10th, it means 10 electrons are there in neon. So out of 10 electrons, first of all, what we will do? This is the nucleus. In the first orbit, how many electrons you can put? 2.
2.
How many electrons are left?
8.
8. And arrange all those here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight dots. So 8 electrons are there in second orbit. Second orbit is satisfied. This is atomic structure of neon. In the same way, you have to draw the atomic structure up to argon. What? Up to argon. You will get the list in your book. Can you do it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, after this, here itself,
But your
let
voice
us
is not coming clear.
complete atomic number and mass number. Atomic number. What is atomic number? The number of proton present in an atom is called its atomic number. It is denoted by capital Z. It is denoted by
Capital Z.
Yes. What is atomic number of carbon? Can anyone tell me? Atomic number of carbon. So, if you have remembered from hydrogen to argon, then hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, and carbon. The atomic number of carbon is
6.
6. 7.
yes. Atomic number of carbon is equal to 6. Therefore, Z is equal to 6. You can write here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is mass number? But before mass number, one thing which we have not done, that is to be done here. Okay? What is that thing? You have studied about proton, you have studied about electron, you need to study about neutron. James Chadwick, who discovered neutron?
James Chadwick.
Chadwick.
Yes. In 1932, James Chadwick discovered neutron. How he came to that conclusion? Because whenever the mass of atom was calculated by taking the total mass of proton and total mass of electron, it was not matching with the exact mass of the atom. The exact mass of the atom was found greater than the total mass of the proton and the neutron available in that atom. So this compelled scientists to think that some other particles or subatomic particles must be there inside the atom, due to which the mass of the exact atom is not matching with the mass of the total number of electron and total number of proton. And thus in 1932 James Chadwick discovered this subatomic particle. Okay, the mass of neutron, was equal to mass of proton. And when the mass of neutron was taken into the calculation, and then it was found that the total mass of the atom is exactly matching. It is matching with the mass of the total number of proton, neutron and electron here. But while you are taught mass number, what? Mass number A. What is mass number? Mass number, the sum of the total number, what? The sum of the total number of proton plus sum of the total number of proton and neutron gives mass number. So mass number is denoted by capital A. Capital A is equal to P plus N. P means number of proton, N means number of neutron. When total number of proton was added with total number of neutron, it gives mass number or atomic mass of that atom. Understood? So you can write A is equal to P plus N. Now, if you are knowing atomic mass and proton number, then you can find out neutron. N is equal to A minus P, or you can write N is equal to A minus number of proton is equal to what? Z. That is atomic number. So if you know atomic number and mass number, then you can calculate number of neutron present in an atom. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
See, in case of some elements which exist in the form of isotopes, what? Some elements exist in the form of isotopes. Like carbon has got its isotope C6, and C612, C614. It has two isotopes. This is normal carbon, which is found in the atmosphere. This is also found in the atmosphere, but its percentage is less. This is carbon 14, this is carbon 12. These are the two isotopes. Then what will be the mass? How the mass of carbon has been calculated? Because it has two types of atoms, in which the mass number is 12 and another mass number is 14. So two different masses are there. In such cases, the average is taken. What? The average of both type of atoms, the mass belonging to the types of atom is taken as their average. So in case of atoms having isotopes, the mass of the atom is the average mass of its isotopes. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is isotope? You can see these are the two isotopes of carbon. in the subscript 6. This 6 is atomic number of carbon. Atomic number is written as subscript, and 12, 14. These are superscript. Superscripts represent mass number. What? Superscript represent mass number.
Mass number.
Subscript represent atomic number. So here in isotopes, you can see there in both cases atomic number is similar, same, but mass number is different. On this basis, you can define isotopes. So how will you define isotopes? Isotopes are the atoms of the same element having same atomic number but different mass number. Isotopes are the atoms of the same element having equal atomic number but different mass number. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
After this, isobar. Isobars are the atoms of different element having different atomic number but same mass number. What? Different atomic number but same mass number. Like argon and calcium. Argon, calcium. These are two different elements. Argon, its atomic number what? 18. Its atomic number 20. But mass number, argon, it has also 40. It has also 40. Both has got same mass number. So argon and calcium, these are isobars. Once again, how will you define isobars? Isobars are the atoms of the different elements having same mass number but different atomic number. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So girls, this is how your chapters get completed. Okay?
Yes, sir.